To get hit in this shutdown will be the tens of millions of Americans who rely on their Social Security checks every month. Right now, there is a real danger that those checks won't go out on time next week. With us now, James Martin, chairman of the 60 Plus Association, which is sometimes referred to as the conservative AARP. Welcome to the show. I have to ask you this. Do you think people should be worried about the possibility of not getting paid? They paid into this system. Shouldn't they get their money?
Well, quite frankly, on top of Obamacare, this is bad news for seniors, this pending hostage, if you will, of their checks. But quite frankly, I have to differ with the previous answer there by the previous person you just had on. Look, the buck stops where? Truman said the buck stops here. It stops with the President of the United States. He's the one that can make this happen. And quite frankly, politics has reared its ugly head again on Social Security and on Medicare.
Well, I have to tell you, moments ago, the president issuing basically a veto of anything the Republicans are coming up with. These people couldn't agree on a time for lunch, much less how to pay the nation's debt. And now it looks like we're going to get downgraded possibly again. Fitch putting us on a negative ratings watch. You know, what are your members telling you about their concern about Social Security payments?
Well, seniors, quite frankly, were the first ones who apparently read the Obamacare bill, that 2,000-page abomination that was shoved down their throats. Seniors aren't happy with that. They voted in increasing numbers. Look, this administration and the Democrats, we're bipartisan, by the way. We give awards to Democrats as well as Republicans. But in this case, the Democrats have taken senior vote for granted through the years. Then they take $700 billion out of Medicare. How do you add 30 million new customers, take $700 billion out of it, and say everything is going along as usual? Not true. Seniors were upset then. There's a doctor shortage on the horizon.
Right.
There's this medical devices tax. There's just a million things out there that's wrong with this particular piece of legislation. And seniors voted in huge numbers against Obama in 2008. And even larger numbers in 12. Not that they're pro-McCain or pro-Romney. They were against the president because of Obamacare, pure and simple.
I've got to tell you, I've been in the street right here on 6th Avenue talking to seniors about what's going on with Obamacare and how it might impact Medicare. And they are truly worried, very worried indeed. And let's talk about the number of people, for example, on Social Security who might find themselves without a check. Some 44 million of them rely on Social Security. There are 58 million on Social Security, all of its programs. 1 in 5 Americans rely on this thing. I have to tell you, if you want to flirt with missing a payment on our debt, okay, fine, but this isn't a group of people I would want angry at me.
Absolutely true, Jerry. And the fact of the matter is, again, seniors have paid in all their working lives, still paying in. I'm still working, still paying into the system. But a lot of seniors know that that so-called Social Security trust fund, there is no trust there. There's no fund. I call it a bust fund because guess what happened? Again, I lay this at the feet of the Democrats. They started robbing from that fund back in 1968-69 when I was a young aide on Capitol Hill, a reporter in this town back in those days. They've been using it for general funding purposes. There should have been a warning sign 2 years ago. 2010 was the first year ever in the history of the fund that there was no surplus for them to spend. That should have been a warning sign right there.
James, we're going to stay on this story. I hope you'll come back and talk to us again about this. Thanks for being with us today. I appreciate it.
I'd be glad to. Thank you.
Thank you.